And we are live. Roll up, everybody gather, come and join. One man went to more. Yes, we are doing it again. We are doing it again, but the question is, are you doing it with us? Come do it with us. That thing that we do round about this time, it is happening. That noise making that roundabout happens just about now is happening right about now. So one man went to more is in session and your company required. One man went to mow the eagle has landed.
Water, only water, where they see ma. Water. Oh yes, you come for me, water, 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 water. Water, only water, where they see ma. Hapa oh night oh. Hapa oh night oh. Hapa you don't come oh. Hapa oh night oh. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ilé sọ́dí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Chief Wáìlà tí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòde ojàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Olúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petro Sodana ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petro Sodunke ẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run Hapa you don come o. Hapa oh night oh. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ilé sọ́dí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Chief Wáìlà tí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòde ojàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Olúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petro Sodana ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petro Sodunke ẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run méjìkọ. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
And there we are, Akuko Orumeiko, the Kegite. I wonder if you know where that comes from, that phrase, Akuko Orumeiko. So that's a bit of a homework for the Yorubas in this on this platform, Akuko Orumeiko. So Akuko Orumeiko, as guys, I bring you this Electoral Amendment Bill. We can't proceed on our own, says Senate President Lawan. So surrender monkey Ahmed Lawan, he gives up at the first hurdle, as is the expectation of this fat boy Aboki from wherever he is from. He surrenders, hands up. Electoral Amendment Bill, we can't proceed on our own, says Senate President Lawan. So quite what he means by that, we'll find out in due course. Fayemi hails Buhari for stopping electoral reform in Nigeria. So now, quite a loaded and a coded headline, this one. Fayemi, of course, speaking to what MALLAM Buhari has done. But what is in play there? You have to remember, of course, that Fayemi purports and portends and pretends to be in play for 2023. So is he playing to that space then by kowtowing to the Lord and Master? We saw El Rufai on his knees yesterday. So which this headline is essentially Fayemi on his knees to the Aboki from Daura as well. Fayemi hails Buhari for stopping rather electoral reform in Nigeria. So quite what that means we find out in due course. In due course, we find this out as well. Kaduna, not small like Lagos, can feed Igbos in southeast. El Rufai, ever in the boastful slant. Electoral Bill 2021, Buhari missed a golden opportunity. The CCD are the persons saying this. So who the CCD is or are and why they felt the need to say this, we'll find out just fairly shortly. So a lot to peruse, a lot to go through, a lot to reflect upon. So kick back, lean back, take it easy, and we'll come in via now what is the traditional quarters, the eastern quarters, and of course another Python dance.
Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Una boli Mary Namdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Una boli Mary Namdi bu onye du aimo. O Mary woni nizu mbiro ya abakare. Mamanda Mora, Una Buri Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Una Buri Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Una Buri Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Una boli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, and Python dance 3. Una boli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, and Python dance 3. Una boli Mary Nandi.
And there we are. Nnamdi winning war. Python dancing, Nnamdi winning war. Python dancing, the Okoro people from the east. So now they win the war. As guys, I bring you this electoral amendment bill. We can't proceed on our own, says Senate President Lawan. The President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, says the upper chambers will consult with the House of Representatives on how to respond to President Muhammadu Buhari's rejection of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. Mr. Lawan disclosed this after a closed-door session of the Senate on Wednesday, after Mr. Buhari withheld assent to the electoral bill passed by the National Assembly. Presently, the House of Representatives have gone on recess, and like we all know, the constitutional provision is for the Senate and the House of Representatives to jointly take the appropriate action, he said. The Senate President held that the provisions of the 1999 Constitution as amended does not permit the upper chambers to exclusively take any action on such matters in the absence of the House of Representatives, since the latter has embarked on recess. He, however, assured that a joint position would be reached by the House after due consultation with Nigerians to determine the appropriate line of action when both chambers reconvene from the Christmas break in January. The Senate also in the closed session discussed how to respond to the letter from Mr. President on the electoral bill amendment, Mr. Lawan said, explaining what transpired during their secret meeting. The Senate consequently resolved to consult with the House of Representatives in January, when both the Senate and the House will be in session. The Senate also resolved to consult with our constituents during our recess in January. The Senate believes that our constituents have a role to play as the major stakeholders in the laws that we make in the National Assembly. Mr. Buhari, in the letter dated December the 13th, had explained that his decision to withhold assent to the electoral bill was informed by advice from relevant ministries, departments, and agencies of government after a thorough review. According to Mr. Buhari, signing the bill into law would have serious adverse legal, financial, economic, and security consequences on the country, particularly in view of Nigeria's peculiarities. He had added that it would also impact negatively on the rights of citizens to participate in the government as constitutionally ensured. So there you have it. That pardon me, that statement essentially, if you ever hear the phrase kicking the can down the road, that is what that means. So you don't want to pick up the can, so you kick it down the road and then you walk, walk, walk. And when you come up to the can, you kick it down the road again. You walk, you walk, you walk. And then when you come up to the can, you kick it down the road again. So this is what the Aboki called Lawan is doing essentially with this electoral bill, kicking the can down the road. So what they told us was that they needed a two-third majority to overturn the decision made by the Aboki from Daura in the Senate. So they got that two-third majority. So this guy now has now added a proviso that they also needed the buy-in of the House of Representatives. If that's the law, that's the law. But then, of course, the House of Representatives are now in recess till January. So that then kicks the can down the road. So in January, they will reconvene and then they will book a time for a later date to discuss this. So we're talking February, March, that is kicking the can down the road again. So the House of Representatives will have their own parlay, and then they will then come to their back and forth, the internal fighting executive that kicks it to June. That's kicking the can down the road. They'll come to whatever decision they come to April, May, June, July. That is the House of Representatives. And then they'll book a date to go and meet the Senate to discuss their decisions. So that kicks the can down the road again. So by the time they are mid to later 2022, then they'll tell you that the election is upon us and this now policy cannot impact on the upcoming election. So essentially kicking the can down the road and essentially a surrender monkey position by the Aboki called Lawan. So from the Aboki called Lawan to the Ogbeni called Fayemi, so to the Ogbeni called Fayemi, and this is his position. Sorry, there's a lot of people are riding quad bikes around about my house, and it's just somewhat jarring my senses. Fayemi hails Buhari for stopping electoral reform in Nigeria. So there you are. Fayemi hails Buhari for stopping electoral reforms in Nigeria. Governor KAYODE Fayemi has hailed President Mohammed Buhari for refusing to assent the electoral amendment bill. I think we all should commend the courage of Mr. President to stand with the people, Mr. Fayemi said. He reasoned that the focus should be on an inclusive process and the signing of the bill into law did not matter. This is what he has to say. What is governor's interest and sorry, hold on. Let me just make sure I've not skipped a paragraph. What is governor's interest and concern is that opportunities are given for an inclusive process. And I think that uh, what is governor's concern? So that's governors, because now KAYODE Fayemi, of course, the leader of the governors forum in Nigeria. So he's essentially speaking on behalf of all of them. So that's governors with an apostrophe at the end of the S. So, what is governor's interest and concern is that opportunities are given for an inclusive process. And I think that is what Mr. President's letter has brought out, explained the Ekiti governor. Mr. Fayemi, the chair of Nigeria's Governors Forum, made this statement after meeting with Mr. President at the presidential villa on Tuesday. His statement came on the heels of Mr. Buhari rejecting the Electoral Amendment Bill, citing direct primaries as one of the reasons for his decision. Mr. Fayemi said he and Mr. President has tested direct and indirect primaries and were fully aware of the two modes of elections election works. So that should be how the two modes of election works. He insisted that Mr. Buhari's decision was to ensure a free and fair election. The president, just like me, is not afraid of whatever mode you decide to use. What is important is to ensure that whatever process you choose in your particular circumstances still provides a process that is as free as possible, the governor added. It is not a completely free process, but at least there is something that is called substantial compliance in electoral law. And if it meets substantial compliance, uh, sorry, hold on. And if it meets substantial compliance, contrary to Mr. Fayemi's stance, human rights lawyer Femi Falana pointed out that Mr. Buhari will be leaving a tragic legacy behind, having refused twice to assent to the Electoral Amendment Bill. So the Electoral Amendment Bill, rather, is not wholly or even substantially about the direct or indirect primary. So the indirect or direct primaries are just incidental to that bill. The pearl of the bee or of the piece, the gem on the crown of that bill is the electronic transmission of election results. That is really essentially what that bill seeks to put in place. Electronic transmission of election results. This is really the pitch of the bill. But then, of course, this is really where the difficulties are. Their difficulties is not in direct or indirect primaries. Either direct or indirect primaries, they'll still rig their way into the candidature, but it is not so much rigging their way into candidature that is the thing that chokes them. It is the fairness that this thing is trying to impute into the Nigerian electoral process that they balk at. We know how Kayode Fayemi got into that Ekiti seat. He lost that election to Fayoshe's flunky, but they rigged him in anyway. There were more security presence at that election that brought Fayemi in than there were voters. They intimidated people, they bullied people, they bribed people, they bought people, they harassed, harangued, and cheated all the way through to bring him into position. Kayode Fayemi so rinse that and repeat it with Buhari as well. The same process brought him in. So they cannot, in all conscience, now say that they want a free election because they know that in a free election where they have to present to themselves to the people as a choice, it is a categorical rejection. There is nobody within the Nigerian state that would, by choice, either have Buhari as their president or Kayode Fayemi in any situation of importance. So this is really what they are rebelling against, and this is really why they are rejecting that bill. So there it is, right there. You heard it here first. Your laughing man, one man. So let's take. Should we take this a human interest story? Okay, let's take it because it's not really a hard read. So it's just really okay. Actually, let me just hold that for a moment. I might just abandon that actually. Kaduna, not small like Lagos, can feed Igbos in southeast. El Rufai is saying this, but why? Governor Nasir El-Rufai has described Lagos as a small place compared to Kaduna and even joked that Kaduna can feed the whole of the southeast, predominantly Igbos. Uh, let's take that entirely all over again. Kaduna, Governor Rada Nasir El Rufai has described Lagos as a small place compared to Kaduna and even joked that Kaduna can feed the whole of the southeast, predominantly Igbos. It is a huge state, Mr. El Rufai said of Kaduna, ravaged by worsening insecurity. So, the fact that there is insecurity in one part does not mean there is insecurity everywhere. It's not Lagos. It is not a small place at all. His argument was to emphasize the economic viability of the northern states. Yes, we had investment summits and they have been very successful. In the last 5 years, we have attracted nearly 3 million. Yes, we have had investment summits and they have been very successful. In the last 5 years, we have attracted nearly $3 billion in investment. In spite of all these stories about insecurities, because investors know that large parts of Kaduna State are very safe, the Kaduna governor further explained. They are safe as anything. The governor stated this to State House correspondents on Tuesday after a closed door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari. He insisted that despite Kaduna's worsening insecurity, the state continues to attract investment, even though it could have been better. On the potential of Kaduna to feed Igbos in the southeast, Mr. El Rufai expatiated. Kaduna State is a huge state. We have 46,000 square kilometers. I joke with my colleagues from the southeast. Kaduna State alone can feed the 5 states of the southeast 2 or 3 times over. So there you are, the ever boastful Mini Aboki from Kaduna State. So this is the goings on in Kaduna State. So finally, we land on this one. Electoral Bill 2021. Buhari missed a golden opportunity, CDD. So who exactly is the CDD? The Center for Democracy and Development (CDD) has said that President Muhammadu Buhari missed a priceless opportunity when he declined to assent the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2021. In a statement by its director Idayat Hassan, the CDD expressed shock at the president's decision, saying Nigerians had all expected that President Buhari would write his name in gold as the president who bequeathed an improved electoral framework on the country, with the next general election being just 14 months away. The CDD called on the National Assembly to immediately toe two immediate options, which are either to veto the president and pass the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2021 into an act of National Assembly, or remove the provision on direct primaries as raised by the president and immediately represent the bill to the president for his assent. We must not allow a single provision truncate the goodness in the proposed electoral bill, the group stressed. According to the CDD, Nigeria is in dire need of a new and robust framework for the conduct of elections. The reform in the Electoral Bill 2021 will improve the quality of elections, thereby imbuing citizens' trust in our democracy. The National Assembly, as the true representative of the people, must not allow the huge human and financial resources that went into the Electoral Bill 2021 from drafting to reading at the floor, the public hearing, the committee works, the retreat, the conference committees, etc., to go to waste. The CDD urged the National Assembly to act with immediacy to save Nigeria's election and her democracy. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the going on within the Nigerian space. But then, is there anyone to take on the commentary? So we have Charlie Boy. So we go to Charlie Boy. So Charlie Boy, there you are.
I'm
How
here.
are you?
I'm doing good.
Every time your name changes, so you are Jake Biafra this time around. What is that even all about?
I don't know.
Uh,
Just do it for fun.
However the mood takes you, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let me take you then to this space. The electoral reform bills. Have you been following the storyline, and do you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think Nigeria I think the election should be electronic, like in the Western world, they vote in the computer system. You just put the paper to the computer and computer actually count your vote. That's better than voting on paper. Because voting on paper is the reason why kidnappers do that and rig the election easily. If we had voting on paper in the computer system, it'd be easier and that can be fair in my opinion. But I don't know why the federal government doesn't want to do that. What they're scared of doing that. Do you know why, what man?
Well, as you know, Buhari, he has never won any election in his life. Nigerians have always hated him and they have always rejected him. But they managed to rig him in 2015 and again in 2019. So he knows that in a fair election, he or somebody like himself would never smell any authority in Nigeria. So his self-interest, this is what he's doing. That Mallam, the Fulani person
I- My
of
opinion,
national.
I think what Buhari is doing, they want to elect someone with the same idea as him. That's what they're
That,
trying
that,
to do.
that's it. And if they want to, you are exactly right, Charles. They want to elect somebody with the same ideas as him, or he wants to replace himself with somebody with the same ideas as him. So if he presents somebody with the same ideas as him, then of course Nigeria and Nigerians will reject that person because we have seen enough of this type of characters and we cannot be held in situation in perpetuity by this sort of element. So that cannot happen. So so he needs to be able to rig the election for that to obtain. And if he signs that electoral bill, it makes it that much more difficult. So essentially, he's just wanting to cancel democracy in Nigeria to continue to foist so the Fulani barbarism on the country.
Okay, let's say 2013 election be what's gonna happen to Nigeria? Let's say 2020 election be what's gonna happen?
Well,
Make it,
Nigerians are adept at suffering, so they will just adjust. This is a suffering country, and they relish in suffering. So they just continue to suffer it. This is what they have no rebellion in them. Nigerians, they are just meek and feeble people.
but which person will Buhari pick to rig the election? Which person he want to be rigged?
Hey, it was you see that guy that was kneeling down to him the other day, El
Yeah.
Rufai. That is his choice. So that's who he's going to regain. They are going to jettison that guy from that claims to be from Lagos, Tinubu, and put in another Fulani man. That is their plan.
I think if that's why I think the South must do anything possible to make that not happen. Or whatever
Yeah,
that
but
happens,
what can they do is the thing because you see the what goes on in Nigeria is that the North have quickly cottoned down to the fact that force is really what holds power. So they've very quickly concentrated all of the guns in their own hands. All of the defense academies, all of the military personnel, the DSS, the police, the customs, everything, all of the guns in their hands. So they point that gun at the South as they continue to rob the place. So what does the South do now? So the South are notoriously timid and feeble. They were very meek people in the South. You say that the Igbos are not, but they are as well. They are all meek and feeble. So they will make they make a little bit of noise. These northerners they go and shoot them up, as we saw in a Lekki toll gate, and then everything just peters off again, and they continue to loot the place. So this is the situation in Nigeria now. So this is what the South is contending with. They are being held at gunpoint. They are completely unarmed. We are being held at gunpoint by these crazed northerners. So we're being held at gunpoint. We're completely unarmed. So how do we extricate ourselves from the situation we find ourselves in? So that is essentially the Nigerian narrative. Crazed northerners, crazed gun-wielding northerners versus supposed intellectuals from the south.
I think the crazy northern they want the whole Nigeria to have the same culture as them. That's what they want.
Yeah, but you can't, can you? How
Yeah, we
can I,
can.
as a Yoruba man, be eating tuwo shinkafi? How can I be living in the bush and be bathing in cow pee? This is their lifestyle, and good luck to you. You live as you will, and I live as I will. Surely that's fair enough.
Yeah. But one thing you know is that the streamings know that they want to modernize. They need to
No, they are
modernize.
incapable of modernizing because they predicate their lifestyle on sort of like some Arabian model, and the Arabian model is a hierarchical, feudal sort of system. So they like to cascade down. So they see the Arabians as their gods, and they see the Southerners as Kafiris, who are essentially slave people. So this is the narrative that they are bringing. They are incapable of being ever
And
civilized.
another reason, a lot of them are nomads. Most of the nomads are nomads. They travel. They don't take one spot at a time. They
Mm.
travel everywhere. They go down south, travel everywhere. I just watched news yesterday about Annabelle Airport. The husband came close to the airport. That's dangerous. Why are you having cattle close to an airport? That's very dangerous. You see that shows that they don't care if it's the airport. They walk past to it. The husband. They don't care. For them, it's cattle. I think that's when Nigeria need to find a way to make them modernize. They need to find a way because it's causing
You
trouble.
know, you know, we've been trying. There's a guy, a Yoruba guy, Charles, called Obafemi Awolowo. This is going back some 50, 60 years, even before both of us were born. Um, this guy came up with the concept because this was when Nigeria was forming, and this guy quickly realized this Obafemi Awolowo. He quickly realized that the way the configuration of this country is, with the weight of the land mass and some of the numbers in the north, for Nigeria to work as a country, they will have to civilize the northerners. So he came up with the concept of giving them free education in the north. This is what Awolowo came up with. But of course, because they have that fiefdom system that I told you about, they rejected and repelled education. Because of course, if they educated their people, then their people will be liberated in mind and thinking, and they become more westernized and they become more questioning. So this is the paradigm that is the mix of the Nigerian
Yeah,
space.
because yesterday I was watching the news about this one. I don't know what governor, but he denied it that the husband coming from Nigeria. How can deny that they come from Nigeria and no one's checking the border? Some of the governments are not denying the husband coming to Nigeria. They asked them why. They asked them why they come to. I think Nigeria government need to work with Nigeria and figure out why this husband coming from their country to Nigeria, or the plan is why is it coming in massive numbers. I think that
Do
when
you know why? Do you know why they are coming up in mass numbers, Charles?
no.
Let me explain to you. You know the Fulanis. You've heard the Fulanis, but the Fulanis they're like a homogeneous sort of a people, and the Fulanis they see themselves essentially as a nation, not in terms of geographical space, but essentially as a people. So every Fulani is essentially part of the Fulani nation, and they see the vast swathe of land as their territory and their own. So the Fulani from Niger, he doesn't recognize that there's a border that demarcates his country from a place called Nigeria. He sees Nigeria as Fulani land, as he sees Niger as Fulani land. And if you can incur into Ghana, he will see Ghana as Fulani land, Togo. So these are people, these are somewhat primitive minded people who have the advantage of violence because there's no real value to life in their
Yeah,
system. And this is really what we're contending
I know
with.
you get, but I know something. All the West African country, they're not doing that much violence. Why Nigeria doing violence? That's why I don't get it. You know that one, man? In all the West African country, the foreign husband not doing that much violence. Why do you violence in Nigeria? You see?
Because Nigeria is the pearl in the piece. You see, they realize that if they can seize Nigeria and take full charge of it, then they can use the wealth and the might of Nigeria to quickly conquer the rest of the West African space. You see, already they've sent a guy called Tukur Buratai to Benin Republic to go and do reconnaissance work for the Fulani. So this is how they operate.
I think they have done that because now I heard the US say no more put Nigeria on the Christian list no more. See? There's always succeed in that. Where they succeed. Now America don't put Nigeria in the Christian list no more. See, the final way they always succeed in. I think they want to make Nigeria is a Muslim country. They don't want Christians to be in
Well,
Nigeria.
it's impossible. I am a Jehovah's Witness. I admire the Muslim faith for what, well, maybe I'm that stretching that, but I concede their right to be as they are, but they equally must have that concession for me to be as I am. They cannot come to come and we have no interest in their religion. We
Yeah,
we are we respect their right to practice
yeah,
as they will, and we only ask for equal measure. So you
eh,
be as you are, and we be as we are.
yeah.
That's just
Yeah,
it.
that's why I don't get why the family husband are doing by force. They want things by force. They don't know force
Well, they are
force
barbarians, aren't they?
yeah. I think that's the reason why they want that all the government point they must take over. They know what they're doing, so that the South cannot fight. They want but they will have the joy. So if it is a case, they could win the case finally because they have their own people there. They could just put their own people, man, their own people could have their own people. The case do it like that. How can Imo say why is the Imo government there? Because finally people put him there because they have power. They have
Oh,
much power now, and I'm worried the South have a tough time. Right way to lose the
all right.
election.
The South is already having a tough time. But let me take you
Yeah,
to this.
with eating people's brain. That's sad. That's
Let me take
disgrace.
you to this space. The little man from Kaduna State boasting that his state is 10 times the size of Lagos and they can feed the whole of the southeast. So it's very easy to boast, but it's much more difficult to act. The state, of course, imploding under the insurgency of its own tribesmen. So, what are you making of the boastful words of
You,
our El Rufai?
you see, L5 is saying feed the north, you can feed the south. But the issue L5 don't understand, the north people say they could feed the south. Why? Why? See, the north realize, not the realize they could actually help Nigeria a lot. They don't realize that they have like natural resources in order to help Nigeria, but they're not using that. They kill because the farmers not have massive land, so they basically could feed the south. But the reason why it's causing trouble now, because the husband and the Boko Haram people are killing people left and right. So the crops for Nigeria for people to feed the south is no more there because farmers are scared to even farm. So if he's saying that, yeah, if he can't say that, you're saying that he must do something to stop people from killing each other. I watched TVC News, and one guy was saying Nigeria to first say. One guy said that. One guy was saying that people being killed is scary now. One guy in TVC News, he even said that. Report TV, he even said that Nigeria is in a dangerous time when I'm first people killing each other, and he's saying no government is doing something about it. The killing, even the police are overwhelmed. Nigeria police,
Mm.
they're overwhelmed. The army
Uh,
overwhelmed too. It's sad.
It is sad. That's just a um That's just the Nigerian situation. I'm just trying to get you something. When you come off this session, I want you to go and if you're not busy, that is, I want you to go and look up a YouTuber called Indigo Traveler. I'll post the name in the comment section.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy from New Zealand, which is right next door to Australia,
Um,
where Thomas is.
yeah.
So go look at him. He's in Nigeria at the moment, and he gives an account of what he's experiencing in Nigeria. He went from Lagos to Kano, and he's saying essentially that he's in two different countries. That Lagos is entirely a different country from Kano, and that the way that they live in Kano is somewhat primitive, primordial, and savage. So this is what his account is. This is the second Western guy that's gone to Nigeria to give the same account. So go have a look at that guy, but make sure you go only after the session. But
Mm-hmm.
Charles, let's go on to X Zero and just sample his opinion. But I thank you for opening things up for us. So X Zero, I see you.
Yeah, I see you too. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. I was expecting the clankings of your machines and the rattlings of the plate as you eat
You will,
your
you
jollof
will
rice
hear
and
it.
chicken. Eh?
You will hear it in no time. I'm still in the building. I'm just somewhere that there's no noise, but I'll move in the next couple of
Oh,
minutes. So
all right, all right.
yeah.
So, because like we expect Professor Datao to come in with his daughter, we expect you to be rattling away at our jollof rice and chicken. So from jollof,
Yes.
eh, from jollof rice and chicken to the surrender monkey in the Senate is saying now, Ahmed Lawan, that there's nothing they can do about the electoral bill. What are you making then of this Aboki man?
Yeah, this guy is simply worse than tissue paper. This is the worst Senate we've ever had, and also the worst House of Reps we've ever had. They are just they're just a president's toy, used to fulfill the president's wishes. If you observe everything that comes into the house from the presidency or from the executive goes, they have they haven't got the power, the capacity to stand down, to stand their ground. They haven't got it. Like we said, I was saying yesterday that this house is unfortunate. This house doesn't represent the people, and they are going to do the president's bidding. Look at the kind of rhetoric coming from the president's mouth, from the president of the Senate's mouth.
You see, it concerns me because they told us just yesterday that they'd already in signatures gotten the numbers to overturn this thing. So
mhm,
we waited in trepidation, but in anticipation, but with trepidation because we know the antecedents of these
mhm,
criminals in that house. 109
yeah,
of them, you've got 73
yeah,
signatures,
yeah,
so you've hit your numbers.
yeah,
So
yeah,
now they've come today now with a proviso that they need the buy-in of the House of Representatives. If that is the
mhm,
law, that is the law. So there's no quibbling that. We can quibble that, but if they're saying that is the law, so the law must take
mhm,
its course. But then, of
mhm.
course, the House of Representatives, they're now telling us on recess. So that's now pushing it down the line. So they come back
Yes.
in January. They won't come back in January and give us an immediate decision, of course, because then they'll set
No,
up a
no.
committee to look at
Mhm,
the letter from MALLAM Buhari to come up
uh-huh.
with a recommendation to then have a meeting. So by the time they do all that, that's another 2, 3 months. And by the time
Yes,
it's
yes.
mid-year, they'll tell us that the election is only a few months away and it is too late.
Mhm,
So this is just it, kicking the can
mhm.
down the road.
Yeah, exactly. And they play the smart one on us.
Mm.
So they try to pull the wool out of our eyes. The bone of contention for we, the people, is not direct or indirect primaries. The
No, we
bone of
don't care about
contention for
that.
we, the people, yeah, for we, the people, is the transmission of the results. You see? But they use the direct and indirect primaries to kind of delay this so that it will be like the president is acting in favor of democracy. Whereas he's acting against democracy by stampeding the
How can a
electronic
coup
translation.
how can a coup plotter acting a coup plotter is the very antithesis of a democracy. Is the direct
Mhm.
opposite. A coup plotter acting in favor of a
Yes,
democracy nonsense.
yes. Our own issue is not direct or indirect because they are all corrupt. Even if you want to make things right for us, we want independent candidacy. That would sort this problem out so that anybody from anywhere can come out and say, I want to contest. You don't need to be a member of a party.
Or let them
That is
remove
what
that.
that's
Let
what we
them
want.
remove that electronic transmission of results
You
as
will
a
see that
stand
you are saying
as a standalone, and let him pass that first, and
yes,
let us quibble about the direct or indirect primaries later,
exactly.
because that's a
Who
party
cares who?
matter.
Yes. Who wants to choose between an Ojuzo Kalu and a Tinubu?
Please, look
Or
at that.
these are just
Uh,
you know we don't want we don't
how
want
is it?
anything that comes from them is rubbish.
Yes.
We want direct transmission of the electronic transmission of results
We
from the polling
must have
center
that.
to the server. You understand? So I think these people, like I told you before, sometimes when I say things, I just look like Nostradamus. I told you before that this
Yeah, not law.
bill
Is
is not
this?
going to.
Are you look at this? We don't want to do that
It's
silly.
not going to pass. But it's not going to pass. I told you, but I told you yesterday now.
Eh?
I told you yesterday. I
Mm.
told you this thing yesterday, just like I told you about the NSAS. Now I think you should give me some, cut my, give me some accolades now.
You want credit? Look at this guy.
Yes, give me credits.
You state the obvious, and you are claiming to be a soothsayer. Look at
But
this
when I
guy.
was stating
Eh?
this, when I was stating this obvious, you were playing the devil's advocate.
What a
Eh?
devil's advocate. Eh? I'm an advocate of Jesus Christ. So do you know that I'm a Sunday school? You do know I'm a Sunday school teacher in my church. Look at this guy. Eh?
Oh no, but you know
Eh?
what? So you know what the devil's advocate means. You want to stand.
I
You are
know.
speaking. So
I know.
yeah. No,
Oh,
it's good actually.
but it's just ludicrous, though. It's just, it's just soul destroying. It destroys your soul, the narrative in Nigeria. We get
Mm-hmm.
so close to finally breaking into like the whole country is, we are all waiting, to live
Mm-hmm.
in a civilized way. And we
This is
continue
what I'm
to be
saying.
repelled by these people. So we get to the threshold and then they throw us back again. We get
Yeah,
to the
but
threshold and then they throw us back.
you, you
It's
know,
maddening.
you will begin to appreciate. Okay, let me not use that appreciate. You begin to understand the reason why some people will come up and say they want their own country.
No. That's the
No,
easy
I'm
way
not.
out.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly. No,
easy
no,
way
no.
out.
But
If it
everybody
doesn't
is
work,
not at the same.
if it doesn't go your way, you smash it up. That's the
No,
easy way
no.
out.
I'm not saying everybody, but
Mm,
some people. This
mm.
the way we react to situations differ because of our life experiences. Some people will just come up and say, "This country will not work. I better go my way." Because they're just angry, you know. Because you come up, you cannot go to university with even a score of 300, but yet somebody with quota system will go to university with maybe 20, 30%.
Mm.
So it is
And then they come out.
angry.
This is what produced Abubakar Malami for us now, and that is
Yes,
why we are
yes,
where we are.
yes. People who cannot conclusively think, they cannot
Mm.
think to a logical conclusion. They
No
think halfway
critical
and they give,
thinking, no
yeah, no
lateral
critical thinking.
thinking.
you know
It's
yeah,
just
because it takes
tribal
a
religion, and that's it.
exactly you argue with somebody and he's arguing and you can see that he has no logic and he
Mm.
insists that he's right. you know it is mind-blowing. you know
Just to what you said, that is a universal experience of a conversation. When you are talking to somebody, you see that it doesn't have logic, so you lower your logic to see if they'll
Yes,
meet it. And then when you lower it to a certain point, you just give up and say this
you
guy
give
is
up.
just dumb. But you don't want to be rude to
Yes,
call him dumb, so you look to close that
yes,
conversation quickly. This is where we are in
yes,
Nigeria now. We've lowered and
yes,
we've lowered
exactly.
and we've lowered, and we are seeing that is it
Yes,
that these people they know something entirely that we don't know, and we
yes,
are the dumb ones, or more likely the
yes,
case, these people are just dumb. These people
yes.
are just dumb.
It just in short, it just makes you shorten the whole process
Hmm.
by saying, well, listen, this is not going to work. Because if you like it or not, they will still say you are one Nigeria. A one Nigeria where the low becomes the elite. And you can see the fault, the idiocy in all of this. But you are forced to accept. How can
You
you
know that
accept? How
you
can
know
you?
that Nigeria is one of the most, if not the most dichotomous country on the planet. The most dichotomous
Yes,
country on the planet. We have some of the greatest minds, and you can cite examples of that. I can.
of
Everybody
course.
can. We have some of the greatest minds on this planet, bar none.
Yes,
Smarter than the
yes,
Jewish, smarter than the Chinese, and smarter than
yes,
anybody that they venerate as smart. But
yes,
in all of the history of that country, we've always been run by dumb people.
yes,
That is the
yes,
dichotomy.
yes. And
So
it's
some
so
of the
unfortunate.
smartest people on the planet were run by some of the dumbest people on the planet. With this
Yes, of
now
course.
being the crowning glory, this
Yes.
Aboki's person.
Mhm. And they tell you the country just makes you not to be able to call a spade a spade. And that's the worst thing. If you are an analytical thinker, that's the worst thing to have to deal with. Not to be able to say white is white and black
Hmm.
is black. You will just run out of the country. That's why many people are leaving the country. You can't stand it when the political class every day they say the country is doing well, the president is the best, he loves the country, and if not for this president, the country would have broken up. Whereas the next day, he removes the Southerner, he puts a Fulani. I mean, this guy just lost it. And if you call a spade, you become the enemy of the nation. I don't understand.
Oh, oh,
I
oh,
don't
oh,
understand.
okay. So I hope you are not where I think you are. We don't need to hear that sort of noise. But speaking to that pandering and rankadede mentality. So this now pandering and rankadede. Let me bring you it. Fayemi hails Buhari for stopping electoral reform in Nigeria. So, what do you think this character is playing out? PhD war studies, but in terms of something, still is essentially on his knees, like El Rufai, like we saw yesterday. Ranka
Yes,
Dede, PhD war studies. What is Fayemi talking about? Uh, he hails
you see,
Buhari for stopping electoral reform in Nigeria.
you see, you see, like I said, this is a country that never ceases to amaze me. For one, it is the characters in it. The characters in the characters in the politics are very, very, they're the worst kind of characters you can ever wish to deal with. You see, that's the reason why some people hate politics so much and stay at the opposite end instead of participating and changing the politics. Look at the kind of contribution this man is making. This is the same man who has seen his country's elections being thwarted every day. The people cannot speak. They cannot choose who governs them because uh, results are not transmitted electronically. And here he is scuttling it. And then after his tenure, and he becomes like Obasanjo, who is no longer powerful to decide anything. He now starts to speak, the problem with this country is this and that and this.
Yes.
You understand? You see, this is how they all contribute in scuttling the chances of giving the people and the country freedom. I don't know if I told you one time, you know, I said, Rimi, Rimi governed the states. After governing that state, do you know that Rimi died in that state of heart attack when armed robbers accosted him? They stopped his vehicle and they saw it was him, and then they left him, but he already had uh, high blood pressure.
Yeah.
That was what led to his death. You'll be in a place, you have the opportunity to change it. You'll be speaking from the other side of it, like you are drunk. When you leave, the problems you leave behind finally come back to kill you. Look at Obasanjo now. Do you think he loves what he's doing now? Every day complaining Buhari is right. Was he not there one time? But he wasn't able to change things. Look at Jonathan. Every day going to the Aso Rock. Because of what? When he was there, even Ochoke, the road to Ochoke, he could not fix. But now, he was leaving office and he left confab the what was it called? The confab recommendations to Buhari.
You see how stupid people are. The good thing is that they are all seeing it now. Before, the kidnappers were kidnapping private individuals. Later, they graduated to family members of politicians. Now they are kidnapping and killing politicians. It's just a matter of time. We'll hear the big one. Maybe one governor will be kidnapped and killed.
People almost wish for that. What you just said, people almost wish for that.
It's getting
That
there.
people are almost wishing that all this banditry is vested upon really one of the topmost people who feel that they are shielded by this retinue of weaponry that they surround themselves with.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if the banditry can break through that and vest upon them, then maybe they can understand them fully then what the situation is.
Of course, of course. There was a situation. There was a time the bandits broke through Abuja. Every day you hear of them harassing people along Kaduna Abuja Road. If they are harassing people along Kaduna Abuja Road, what is remaining? What is remaining, my brother? They are here. They are already here. So there's no two
You
ways
you
about
know
it.
you know the Nigeria that we must have and should have is for a single woman to drive in the middle of the night, 1 a.m. in the middle of the night, from Kaduna to Abuja without any cause for concern for her safety. This is what
Of course,
must happen.
of
Not
course. These
for
guys, yeah, these guys, they're just so selfish. They know what is happening that their position, by virtue of their position, they are a bit protected from direct
him.
encounter with these things. Yes. So, and it is out of selfishness they make such comments as this that will not make the country develop. This country is going to remain undeveloped for another 50 years. And those things that Fayemi and his likes don't want to talk about, to hurt them. It will hurt them.
Okay, and to Mini Me from Kaduna State, the ever boastful little man, saying that they are 10 times they are 10 times Lagos State, and they can feed the whole of the southeast easily. So the boastful words of El Rufai, what says you?
Well, you know, I just pray that his rhetorics doesn't lead to war someday. This man is this one of the things I've discovered about these people is that they like to talk about population that does not exist. He should be told, he should be reminded that Dubai was a desert. That's just a little I have to tell you. Dubai was a desert. But look at Dubai today. So if he's so sure of himself, he should make that Kaduna like Dubai. He should make Kaduna like Dubai. The North, they are going to suffer worse than any other person on this planet. Because what they don't realize is that
Do you think they are
the,
lazy, the Northerners?
no, I don't think they are lazy. I think there's something they call blind followership because they are not empowered by education. With education, you can even tell your father is wrong, and you prove it to him. You don't have to be impolite. You don't. But you see, when you don't have education, you lack the tools with which to express yourself to pass that message that what your ancestors are practicing is wrong. Education gives you a tool and it gives you a better chance to life. But most of all, it gives you a tool and language to be able to express the the disadvantages of retaining cultures that have become irrelevant. But you don't have that tool for one, then you cannot express it. And if you go against what is the norm, you might be killed. Don't forget that the north is a very volatile place where life expectancy is short and the values placed to life is very, very, very minimal.
Do
You
you
know?
think the value of the being placed on life in the north is now affecting the value that we place on life in the south as well? Do you think we are starting to mimic and mirror the northern way of life in terms of
Yes. Why do you think?
value of life, sort of?
Yes. Why do you think? Why do you think we've been having problems for ages? I'll take for one. When Awolowo went to campaign in the north, he was giving them clothes and Western ideas. If he had known that that is not the language of the north, it would have been better for him. He was trying to civilize them. Who told you they don't like their life the way they want? They have it. They love it the way they are. But you're going to tell them to change it. That's the wrong language to use. You don't tell them to change it. You show them by doing better and making the country competitive. By the time they see that because of lack of education, they are not able to industrialize, because they are fighting and killing each other, companies are no longer coming over there. They will talk to themselves. But what we see is
Do you think we're wrong to try and reason with these people, to try and use reason and logic with these people? Do you think
yes, you don't.
do you think we should change tack instead and
That
meet
is what I'm
them
saying.
in the arena that they know,
That is what
man to man, blow for blow, you know?
no. What people are saying is
Because they
this.
only understand force, they don't understand reason.
That's what I'm saying. You don't even use force with these people. But if you change the policy and make the policies favorable, you know, so that each individual state can decide for himself, like the police, like its industrial policies, you will now see from the choices that these direct investors make which economies are viable. When it comes to competitiveness, everybody will sit up.
Yeah, if I may interject.
Yes, do
Coming
that.
eyes on, yeah. Eyes on.
Oh, okay. Hey, everyone. X0, Ajanle Koko.
Why is your voice dull? Are you in bed? What's wrong with this guy? Speak up, man. Huh?
I'm not in bed, my friend.
Better.
No, no, I'm just greeting everyone. No, I think a lot of good points are being made, but the my reason for interjecting is just that this failure in northern Nigeria is the same failure in southern Nigeria. Is the same failure because we have allowed people to govern us that have no business governing us. Even some of our southern people, when they've gotten into power, why didn't they restructure? Why didn't they create self-determination? Why did Jonathan do the confab and then leave it at the last minute on the table and walk away? Why didn't he complete the process? Change the institutions, change the structures in place. So that way, it doesn't matter who comes into power, the presidency will just be a figurehead. Regions will control their destiny. Why didn't they finish the process? Why didn't Obasanjo do it? These are the questions we have to be asking. The North is always going to be the
But
North.
government is a continuum now. If especially the Goodluck Jonathan confab, Goodluck Jonathan took a lot of time and went to a lot of expense to make sure that the whole country spoke with one voice, because everybody was represented at that confab. And then what? Sorry, that, that's a serious work. So they came up with what essentially was one united voice for the country, because everybody had representation there. But then, of course, if the whole country speaks as one, even if Jonathan is not in situation, that should still follow through. But then, of course, Aboki from Daura, he came in and just jettisoned then the voice of the people,
Yeah,
and
but
that said,
one
yeah.
man. I think Jonathan took things for granted, knowing what
No, he didn't
Nigeria
take things for
is.
granted. If it purports to be a democracy, then it should follow through
Well,
when the people
but
speak.
one man, we were talking about a real democracy versus Nigeria. There's no guarantee that okay, everybody speaks with one voice, and then all of a sudden someone else that comes in that has no interest, by the way, of seeing that restructure take place. Jonathan should have willed it through. He should have put his will on that thing and made sure that he finished that process, because that is the very fundamental structure of the whole thing that
Well,
X0 is even
Jonathan
talking about.
it doesn't have the cojones now. He's just a guy from the creeks.
But that's the thing, though. I mean, there are a lot of guys in the creeks that have big cojones, so that's not even an excuse. He should have seen it through by making sure that look, these structures are changed. The same thing with the electoral process. Why is this bill trying to be shoved down someone's throat who we know has no interest in trying to pass it? When we had someone there who clearly showed that he respected democratic processes by picking Jega, someone he had never met, had no influence over, to oversee the electoral process.
Was
He
that
should have.
stupid of him? So not stupid, but was that a mistake? Was that
By the
was that?
Nigerian, if you look at it from Nigerian politics, he was a fool.
Yes.
If you look at it from Nigerian politics, and I met people from PDP who till today are still swearing for
Do you
Jonathan.
think Goodluck Jonathan was ahead of his time, wanting to be civilized in an uncivilized place?
Goodluck
It's
Jonathan.
just like asking. It's just like asking if Nnamdi Azikiwe was civilized by asking that Nigeria be one Nigeria. Please, some people are annoying people. They are annoying. These people like Jonathan are annoying. Please, he's just
He's
not the right
annoying
person.
because Jonathan, the politics that Jonathan was playing is the politics that Nigeria should play, a balanced, equitable sort of politics that looks to the rule
But
of law and the will of the people. So that is
One-
the
that
one
politics
kind
man.
we
of
want.
politics, that
One
kind
man.
of
But the
politics
country
is
was not ready for Jonathan, rather than Jonathan
One man.
being
You
wrong.
cannot.
Yeah.
no.
You cannot be a civilized man in a jungle.
That's what
You
I'm
have,
Don't
you
mind the
have,
saying.
you have
man.
to
Don't mind
That's what I'm
understand.
the
saying.
Jonathan.
Was he ahead of his time?
Yes,
Wanting
Yeah,
to be
that's
civilized.
what it is. Ahead of his time, but I don't want to put it that way. Don't give him that credit. I think it's just dumb in a situation where people are watching him do things like everything is settled. Like in economics, there's what we call ceteris paribus. It's not ceteris paribus here. There is a fractured country with about 500 different tribes, and you come here and say, yeah, we are equal and we are going. These people don't think they are equal. They think they are above you.
they say
The
born
North is
to
trying
rule.
to take. They're taking everything.
They say born to rule.
And that's what they have come to show you.
That is a slogan.
Why do you think?
Born to rule.
I still tell you. Why do you think Obasanjo was not able to stand down and say, "Look, this idiot from Zamfara should stop with his rhetorics"? He could not, because the North will go against it, and if the North goes against you, you are finished. You should make the country equitable and give everybody. There's no minority in this country. You are 100% in your quantity. So
Correct.
if you're 100% in your quantity, you should be one vote. That's what it is. And then by this time, Fulani will know they are one vote. But look at what it is now. They're counting everybody as one man. Yeah.
This is the thing, right? Okay, so we missed the boat when Jonathan had the opportunity to do this thing. Now, there's a likelihood that there could be, it's not guaranteed, but there could be another Southern president. This particular thing we're discussing, very structures, very foundations of this whole system is what they need to change from day one. The electoral process, the self-determination of different regions, they need to change the constitution. They need to attack this thing from the floor.
The one big job that the Southern president would have, if it does come in 2023, is to remove the guns forever and
from
permanently
the north.
from the north.
100%.
For forever and permanently.
Yes.
Because that's the whip hand that they have, and that's the one whip hand that they have. They are not intellectually as superior, and if they are intellectually as superior, then let them have it, because then it's a superior logic that they are bringing. So if that is it, then we can concede. But if it's just guns, which is essentially what Buhari is, then you need to remove that gun from the table in order for us to civilize the space.
Please don't make the same mistake Jonathan made. Jonathan came in because of what Jonathan did with that confab. That is why the North came in so prepared to at least never make power. If they want, they will never make power smell the South again.
It's not possible now. It's not possible now, because if power doesn't come to the South, then the South has two considerations. It's either they concede that they will live forever as a conquered people, or they seek to extricate themselves from the situation they find themselves in. So if we don't have a Southern president, then we're essentially then conceding that we're permanently and forever second-class citizens. And we know if you're a second-class citizen to a Fulani man, we already see what that means under Buhari's administration.
X0, power will come to the south.
Yeah.
What they will do is they will just try to pick a puppet. That's all they will
And
do.
is that now the language of puppetry that Fayemi is speaking now?
And
Yeah.
one man,
Fayemi on his knees.
And one man is not just Fayemi. When my Biafra brothers come here and they're speaking Biafra, the one thing they're always missing is that the amount of puppets that they have in the southeast that are bowing down before Fulani every day. Uzodima, Rocha Sokorocha. There are plenty. Every day they go to Abuja and they sell their people out for peanuts every day. Those same people are going to be part of Biafra. That's the one piece that they're missing. So this thing is the problem is they will just pick someone who is convenient enough, who will do their bidding, and they will put that person in power. That person will not rock the boat, will not see through the confab, will not have.
That is the Tinubu conundrum. Tinubu is the one that stands at the last step towards that Aso Rock. But how do you handle him? If Tinubu gets the power, they will never, ever, ever control him. Nobody controls Tinubu, Tinubu has the cojones. There's been only one president that has cojones in Nigeria, and unfortunately, that is Buhari. The only other person that has cojones within the Nigerian political landscape is Tinubu, and a little bit Atiku as well. But really, Tinubu has the bravity of Buhari to say, "Do it and damn the consequences." So he can do that, and they cannot handle that. They cannot handle Tinubu.
If Tinubu becomes president, Nigeria is finished. Nigeria is finished.
Yeah, let's say from Majale Koko. Yeah.
What do you mean that? What do you mean that Tinubu?
He's an audacious character. You have to concede that he has audacity. Does he not have audacity?
Which audacity? Who told you that?
Look at that.
Who told you? Hold on, one man. Which audacity?
He has audacity. I agree with one man. If you don't have audacity, you can't control the space he's controlling. So there is no doubt about that.
Which space are you talking about? He has audacity. Your audacity in Lagos. He have thugs around him, terrorizing people everywhere, using the power of that is available to him.
Name one of the leaders who don't have thugs. Name one who don't have thugs.
You've just said it now. Is uses whatever means necessary to get his aims.
No,
that is it now.
No, not legally.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Does it matter?
No, it matters. When you don't run.
Good luck, Jonathan tried legally. How markets?
We don't want a nation that will be run.
We're not ready yet. We are not ready yet to be civilized. That is what we've realized. We are not ready to be civilized yet.
No, woman, we are ready. When you have criminals in power, they make it look like as if people are not ready. They just need to lead as an exemplary leadership that are really representing their people. Then you will see the people will follow them in good faith and in a positive manner. But when you have criminals in power, using the power given to them by the Constitution and illegal power not given to them to govern the state, it makes them look as if yes, they can do this. You don't know who is Tinubu. He will sell the entire Yoruba land.
No, he will not. He will not. There's no indication that he will. What indicates that he will?
Okay, number one, I will tell you.
Because he did not talk about Yoruba nation.
One man, don't forget that time they killed people in Lekki. This guy allegedly was on his way to move to France. You understand? And I think the French government were backing this guy. So this guy has his network.
So yes, and how is that a bad thing?
let me tell you example of saying this guy will sell you. The issue of Igogon and Ikbarapa area.
I knew it. Yes.
Yes, that is number one. Then number two.
Do you understand the politics that was in? No. Do you understand the politics that was in play there?
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Number two. This is what Kola Abiola said on a video. This is not hidden.
Kola Abiola, son of Babangida's friend, Abi.
Son of Abiola. The late
son of Babangida's friend. Yes, son of Babangida's friend.
You can be friend to anybody. So, Kola Abiola.
Son of Babangida's friend, yes.
I don't know what you're talking about, one man.
Was Abiola not Babangida's friend?
One man is a trouble guy now. You don't know this guy, one man. This guy, one man. If you want to fight you, he will come on where.
He's son of Babangida's friend now. We know the history now. You know it as well as I do. Yes.
He said that when they were fighting for June 12th against what do you call against Abacha's regime. Do you know Tinubu was going behind to meet Abacha to appoint, because Abacha wanted to appoint civilian administrator. He was going behind to beg Abacha to appoint him.
He said, she said. Now that's he said.
No, not he said. Not he said. This guy said it. It is available. We had it.
Is it documented?
We knew about it.
Is it documented?
It is. We that in politics, we had it, and this guy confirmed it on this thing, on a live video. Look, this guy is one man. He will be worse than Buhari. It will be 10 times worse than Buhari.
Is Tinubu smarter than Buhari? Is Tinubu smarter than Buhari?
This could be the Nigerian that will be worse than Buhari.
No. Ajelo Koko is right.
I'm not a supporter of Tinubu.
This is the problem with our people. They cannot figure it out. They cannot see. They cannot figure it out. They cannot see it beyond their nose. And this is the problem. This is why we are in this situation we are today. All these politicians.
What is Igbo even arguing for?
No, that is Nigeria. That is Nigeria mentality right there. Nigeria mentality is a foolish man mentality.
I'm telling you.
Why they continue to kill them every day, they will continue to praise people that are killing them, people that are oppressing them.
We are not praising anybody here. We are just saying there are things that are truth. There are things that you are just guessing to say in the public space.
Guessing?
We are not giving you that instance. Nobody is taking
about people in Igogon. This man did not make statement.
I'm telling you today that he's giving the mantle of leadership. He is going to do better in Nigeria as a leader.
Wait.
You will never get to compare somebody like Tinubu to Buhari. Don't say it at all. In terms of delivery,
he will colonize the whole of Nigeria for Fulanese.
Forget.
Let me
I don't know what he's saying.
Yoruba says, the charity begins at home. Let me tell you, they will kill our people in Igogon. It did not even issue a statement. It did not even send MI3 to them. It did not even condemn anything about it. That is the one you think can represent me.
Okay, why
the interest of
you? Please give me one that is better than
Hold on, one man. Let me give you instance. When they were killing Fulani in Ibadan, Buhari then, he wasn't the president. He stood up. He stood up for Fulani people. That is how you can know a person that can represent their people well. Forget about the position that you want to be president. You want to be president, you will surely do. That doesn't mean that when they are killing your people, you keep silent and you want we your people to trust you as our leader.
Why do you? Because you've said that quite often, and not just to a few people as well. So let's tackle that. Why do you think that is that Tinubu did not come out publicly when the
because he's desperate to be president, and he's begging them to anoint him as their candidate for that presidency. So you can't sell your people. You cannot sell your people out. You cannot sell your people out to be president.
Okay. Hold on, Ego. If Tinubu wants to be president, let's say Tinubu, just for the purposes of this conversation, let's say.
Mama, I'll come back in. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Let's say Tinubu is a Yorubaist. Let's say Tinubu, we're not saying he is, but just for the purposes of this conversation, let's say Tinubu is a Yorubaist. How will he best serve the Yorubas as that satellite voice condemning the Fulanis or as president of Nigeria? How does he best serve the Yoruba as a satellite voice condemning the Fulanis or as president of Nigeria?
I don't say woman. I'm not saying he should condemn Fulani. What I'm saying is that our people are killed in Congo.
Yes.
He's supposed to issue out a statement, at least saying it is time for president to stand up and do something about this insecurity.
Okay, would that not circumvent his presidential ambitions?
How would this circumvent? Why more? Why would they? What are you talking about, one man?
I don't know if I may.
You cannot even send. You cannot even send.
A very good point.
Hold on.
There is no way I can agree with the John Lekoko. Even if you want to be a president of a country, you should speak. It is true that Buari stood up and speak and accused the South of war against the North. But Buari spoke. Excuse me.
Let me interject real quick,
is not somebody you will just come and intimidate. He understands the terrain of the nation properly.
Yes.
You understand?
It is not intimidation. It is not intimidation. Okay. Look, we are just saying.
It is his party. It is his party.
Number one,
they are politicians.
Number one, it did not even show empathy. It did not even make a statement to console people that were killed in Igogon. It did not even send a message to them that, let's go and pacify them. Let's send material. Let's just play politics. Send material to them. I mean, visit the Oba palace. Visit the Oba whose palace was destroyed and burned by this criminal. Visit him. It doesn't mean that you want to circumvent your political ambition. No. Just show to your people that, in time of trouble, you are with them. But somebody that have not shown anything that is with us, and you are saying that
you mean publicly. You mean publicly. You don't know what he may have done privately, so you mean publicly.
But what we don't know privately, we don't know it, so we cannot discuss it.
One man, let me interject.
Politics is not private; it's always public. One man. Politics is public. Politicians must do their things publicly.
Outreach is different from politics. So you're talking about outreach, isn't it?
We don't want to. A politician does their thing in public for public to know, because that is how to win election.
You want him to do Shekarimi?
Woman.
Yes.
Yeah, let me say something. I agree with that.
How are you, madam?
You agree with that, all right.
Yeah, and the reason why is this: we know certain things for fact. There are certain things that we don't know. What we don't know is that we don't know what Tinubu is going to do when he gets into office. That's a fact. But let's say what we do know. We do know 100% Tinubu was instrumental in getting us into this mess we're in right now.
Right.
We do know Tinubu went around Nigeria convincing as many people as he could that this tyrant we have in office is the best person to govern us.
Right.
We do know his judgment was wrong. 100%.
How so? No. We don't. No.
We know his judgment was wrong because he championed Buhari.
What was that judgment?
Buhari has been an abysmal failure. Do you agree?
No. But that wasn't his judgment.
It was his judgment. He went around. You
Let
want
me
me
tell
to
you
play
what
the,
is.
you want me to play the campaigns for you? He
No,
went
no,
around
no, no. Let
Nigeria
me tell you what
convincing
his
people.
judgment is. No, no, that wasn't his judgment. That wasn't his judgment. Let me tell you what his judgment was. His own. Tinubu's judgment was not to give us Buhari. Tinubu's judgment was to give us himself. That is Tinubu's judgment.
Okay.
Tinubu wants to be president. He knows that PDP holds situation, and he knows that even if he switches over to PDP, he will struggle to get the position. So he needed to break the PDP stranglehold in order to give himself the best chance. And he knew that with the mass that Buhari commands in the north and the space that he commands in the south, that will be sufficient enough to put enough of a fight against Goodluck Jonathan, who was a weakling. So he was using Buhari to force PDP out of power in order then to set the template for himself to become president.
And
He
at the
was
same time get the
yes.
terrorists to power, yeah?
Can you hold? Oh, man, I'm just going to have to.
Okay, okay.
Don't clown the place. We are not clowns here, Radio Biafra. Don't clown us. Um, so that was his plan. He was essentially using Buhari as a bullhorn to force the place upon in order to enter himself. So that was his plan. If you understand that as his plan, then you understand the game that he played. Tinubu, as far back as 1997, 95, he was already saying, if you go through the archives, you'll see all his commentaries on Buhari, who was describing Buhari as exactly what we're seeing now. That is too parochial, is too tribal, is too
And
religiously
one man,
bent. So he knew all of what Buhari was,
one
but
man
he
that even
knew
makes,
that he needed him to use him as a tool.
you see,
So
one man,
the only thing now that would make right or wrong Tinubu is 2023. If he gets the presidency, then his plan works.
one
But
man,
if he doesn't get the presidency, then we can call him a fool. But he
yes,
wasn't
and
giving
one
us
man.
Buhari, he was
What?
giving us himself.
And you know what? What you just described is even
Mm.
worse than what I was claiming. What
Right?
you just
How so?
described is that this man knew that Buhari was a disaster, but
Yes,
because
but
of his,
not to
because
this
wait, wait, wait,
measure.
wait,
Not
wait,
to
wait,
this
wait,
measure,
wait,
though.
wait, 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 wait,
He knew, but at the 21st
wait,
century, he
wait,
knew
wait,
this
wait,
in the past. You
wait. Let me.
understand?
Yeah, if you said
But he never understand
as
that this
far
guy
back
would
as
be this
19,
bad, of course.
as far back as 1997 and 1995,
Mm.
you're right. He described what Buhari was. He knew who this man was, but because of his own selfish interests in trying to rise to the top seat in power, he was
Mm.
willing to sabotage the whole country by
Why are you describing it as a selfish interest?
It's a selfish interest because he knew if you know something is terrible for a nation and you claim you're a patriot and you want to rise to the top seat of the nation, you don't put that thing forward because of the greater good of the
Well,
country. But
no,
wait,
no,
wait,
but yeah.
let me make the point. He
Mm-hmm.
knew who Buhari was. He
Mm.
championed him because he wanted to break the stranglehold of PDP. So in
Yes.
playing politics, he was able to get into the top seat of. He was able to get this man into the top seat of power. So,
Mm.
however you want to play the semantics, whether because he knew or whether because he championed him, either way, he put this man in office, and this man has been a disaster and a national security threat.
Right.
Wait. Now, so
Yeah.
that judgment, however you want to describe it, that judgment was flawed.
No,
And
you
yes,
cannot,
yes.
no, no,
You, if you
no,
want to
no, you
describe it,
cannot,
wait, one man, let me land the plane.
but you are wrong though, but
Let
I
me
carry
land the
on, yeah.
plane. Let me land
Mm.
here. That judgment, if he was doing it for political reasons because he wanted to be in power, or he was doing it because he wanted to break the stranglehold of PDP, however you describe it, he put Buhari there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was wrong. Now, this
Well,
same
you can't
person,
say that, but go
well,
on.
this
Yeah.
same person wants to convince us now that he is the person that should rise into power. And the other thing that we do know is his reaction as a Yoruba leader when his people were getting massacred. And as Janle Koko has described, his reaction as a
Have you ever
leader.
been to an interview for a job?
I've been to several, of course. What kind of question?
Oh, okay. Do you know what they are assessed for during an interview?
Yes, they look at your tangible and intangible qualities. 100%.
Yes, they look at your skill set. So
Yes.
let's look at Tinubu's skill set. Yeah, let's look at his
but
skill set.
do
Yeah.
you see the point I'm making in what Angelica was saying?
No, I see the point that
what we
you're
do know
making, but you're
as a
not
fact.
reaching to the greater point.
Aizon, you see one man. I don't know what one man still want to know about this man. This man has demonstrated to us that he is not a visionary leader. He
How
knew
so?
that, just like you explained earlier, he knew that Buhari was a bad man, but just because of his own political interest, he has to sell this man to the whole nation.
You know, it's
And
always
this
in the
nation,
language.
so this man has brought disaster to us. He is part of his this disaster. You cannot exonerate him.
You know,
He's part of the
Adalekoko,
leadership.
yes, you know, it's
Yeah.
always in the language. You said because of his own interest. You said because of his own selfish interest. So that's
Yes.
what you
Yes.
said. But
Yes.
if I was to say the same thing, I could say it's because of the greater good. It's still the same space, but you're saying
Tell us the greater good for what good?
Okay, if
Fulani herdsman.
no, well, no, that's a temporal situation which is dissipating at the moment. But the greater good that is the counter narrative, not necessarily what I hold to be sacrosanct, but the counter argument is that Tinubu, by I was talking to you about skill sets just now. Tinubu, by antecedent and self-belief, believes that if he gets hold of Nigeria, he can make of it what we've always aspired for the country to be. He has those same aspirations and he has the confidence in himself. And by antecedent, we can see demonstrably that he has some skill sets. So if he feels that for him to get hold of Nigeria to make of it what the country can be, we have to go through this pain period of this Aboki from Daura in order to land at the greater good of a Tinubu presidency. If you buy into that narrative, then you see the trajectory of his politics as leading to that greater good. But if you don't buy into that narrative, if you just see it at the surface value, at the face value, then you can see that, this is just some selfish man who wants to sacrifice everything for his own want and greed. So what are his wants and greed? Does he want to be richer than he's rich already? Perhaps, but unlikely. Is he lustring after power just for his own sake? Perhaps, but unlikely. But is he lusting after power to impact a greater good that he feels he has within himself? And antecedentally, we've seen demonstrably that he does have to some level. Then that is more of an argument. So it's the greater good.
One man.
It's the greater good.
Can you list
Yeah.
Can you list the success stories from Tinubu?
I can name them.
Give me five. Give me five.
Fashola
Those are not success stories.
Ambode, those are
Those are
success
not. Those are
stories.
not. No.
Sanwo-Olu,
I mean,
success.
as a form
Sanwo-Olu,
of
even Ajanleko could adore Sanwo-Olu.
No.
That's a Tinubu
Those are
success
people.
story.
Those are people that were under him. I'm talking about what he had done as a policy maker, as a governing person.
There you are. It's a people builder. It's a talent.
But that is not a prerequisite for a presidential office.
It's not the How do you think?
No. You can't go to a presidential office and say, you know what, I was a people builder, therefore you should make me president.
Okay.
If you really want to count, wait. If you really want to count people builder, Sanwo-Olu and Fashola. But when it came down to the big decision, presidency of Nigeria, he picked someone who was a former dictator, who had abolished the constitution
for reasons,
to champion.
For reasons
One
that
man,
have
what
just
I'm
elucidated.
what I'm saying to you now was what I was saying in 2015. I was confused. It seemed like Nigerians were in a trance.
Tinubu knows Buari better than you and I, by the way. He knows Buari better than you and I.
I don't need to know Buhari. I do know he abolished the constitution. I do know he took the government by force.
I see where you're coming from, Mr. One Man.
I do know he took the government by force. I do know he abolished the constitution. I do know he pointed gun at people to take over the government. That I do know. And that, in my opinion, disqualified him from day one. Everything else is irrelevant.
No, that's your principled stance.
One man, you can't have a democracy. You can't have a democracy and put someone who doesn't respect the constitution in charge of the democracy. I'm coming back, one man. I'm coming back.
One man, let me tell you, this Tinubu you are trying to promote here, this guy has nothing to show to us that he is an exemplary leader.
But I've just listed them now.
Little,
Did you
no,
not hear
what
me list
all
them?
you
Ambode,
listed,
yeah? Zawolu, Fayemi, Osibando.
those are his cohorts. So
Right?
yeah,
Are
they
they
don't.
champions? Are those people champions? Whether you like them or
Look,
not, are they champions?
look, they are not people's champion.
But are they champions?
Champion in what time?
Just in
Champion of
terms of
what?
champion, as in how they present and
Champion
how
for
they command
themselves.
space.
Champion for themselves and their family.
Fashola is
That is
not a
it.
champion.
They are just champion for themselves and their family.
Ambode is not a champion.
Let me tell you, how would you, how would you consider people in political office or offices or political leaders as real leader? Is what they have done to their community and to their people. Lagos State, for example, does not have a good medical facilities for 22 years in place. Hold on.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong. But carry on.
Okay, you said it is wrong. One man, you say it is wrong. Can you go to Nigeria and go and take treatment in general in public hospital in Nigeria? Can you?
No, well, I can if there's a need.
One man. Hold on. Let us look. For God's sake, if we are promoting these people, then we are promoting death for our people. These are not one man. I am telling you, these people have brought what they have done to our people. They don't want to be in our midst. The health sector in Lagos State does not function well for the people.
How can you say that? Do you have experience of this?
I have experience, for God's sake. I have people that work there. I have experience. I have a sister that died in the general hospital. And we have to bribe our way to get oxygen. These are not people that we should welcome in our midst at all. They don't care.
Ajahn Koko, these are people that we do have in our mix, and these are the choices that we do have to make.
They are not the choices. Yeah. They are not the choices. When you are saying they are the choices, that means you have. What you are saying is that we don't have any other people that can do this job better. We have a lot of people that can do this job better.
We have people, of course. Even you and I can probably run Nigeria better than Tinubu.
The public schools and look, these people have not done good. Look, are you saying these people that are promoting thugs in our society?
No. Let's address. Is that not the politics? Hold on. Hold on. No. You see all these things that you say.
It's not the you can't play politics to kill the potentials of university graduates and promote thugs to acquire wealth and power. You can't govern a place where the thugs and people that did not go are the people that controls the wealth and the position of influence in the state.
Hold on,
and university graduates are languishing in poverty.
Hold on. You cannot apply puritanical standards to a cesspit. Nigeria is a cesspit, and you cannot apply puritanical high standards to a cesspit. It's horses for courses, and the way Nigeria is at the moment, you cannot apply to those lofty ideals the situation that is pedestrian and somewhat crude. Nigeria is a crude space.
No,
So
they make it. He is one of those that make it crude state.
no, but
He
it's
is one of those that make it crude state.
No. Tinubu was not around during wet year now. Wet year.
No,
You
no, no,
remember
no,
wet
no.
year now?
No,
Tinubu,
the wet
so
year, time.
Nigeria is
Those
always
ones
been a savage.
we are past that history. But
But
we have
is
had
that not still the Togri that we're
we
talking about?
no, we have had history, success history of Alhaji Lateef Jakonde. We have said it here. In 4 years, what this man was able to do for that state, until today, it still stands out to be the best ever governor for Lagos State. And I was mentioning what this man did within 4 years. You said it was not possible.
No. Let's not go to
what Awolowo did in 4 years as well. It was like a magic. When you see great leaders with vision that are well prepared for the job they want to do, and they are not corrupt. Look, they will achieve their goal with a speed of light, and it will look like magic. But when you see leadership that are corrupt, they will manipulate things and make it look like governing is so difficult. It's not difficult.
Hold on, Adale Koko. Did Tinubu corrupt? Hold on. Did Tinubu corrupt the Nigerian political space? Did Tinubu corrupt the Nigerian political space?
He is one of those that corrupted.
No. But did he corrupt it?
No, you can't. You cannot. We cannot blame him. We cannot blame him for entire Nigerian politics. No, he's one of the players, and he's one of the corrupt politicians. He's one of the players, and he's one of the corrupt politicians in Nigeria.
Yeah, hold on. Was the Nigerian political space corrupt before Tinubu came into political prominence? Was it corrupt before? Yeah.
We have some that are corrupt, and we have some that are working for the people. But when he came in 1990, is it not 1995 that he came into politics as when he became a senator? Or so, is it 1995 or 1990, 92 or something like that? No, I said yeah, or something like that. When he became a senator, we knew then that Babangida, who was the head of state, he played some role that was, corrupt the system. We all knew that. So, but he came in via that corrupt system, and then double down on that corrupt activity. So, and he's one of the most corrupt politicians in Nigeria today. You cannot exonerate him. One of the most corrupt politicians in Nigeria today. So, look, all these people cannot take us nowhere. We have to use our little time.
Can I say something? Yeah. Because I need to address some of the things that you have said.
Yes.
I'm no fan of Tinubu, of course. Never, ever, ever. But you have to understand that the political landscape of the Nigerian space was corrupt before Tinubu. So he had two choices. If he wants to come into political relevance, he either plays the politics as is situated, which is the thuggery, the bribery, the cesspit, or he plays that puritanical politics, which there's a good chance that he would never get any power to be of any relevance. So he played the politics as it was. Tinubu did not introduce thuggery into the Nigerian politics. Thuggery has always been there, so he played to that. He played to the money, and he played to the strong arming of the Nigerian political space. So he played politics as it was played. So now when he got into situation, what greater good did he do? He corruptly enriched himself. I think we're all of that thought. But that talent spotting space that I was saying, Let me take you to a quotation, but I'm quoting just not verbatim. So I'm paraphrasing a quote from Babangida himself. Babangida was saying that to be the president of Nigeria is not a difficult thing, and a president of Nigeria who does not, who spent a day away from the golf course is not a good president. Do you know why he said that? He said the Nigerian president must never leave the golf course because he should spend the entirety of his tenure playing golf. Do you know why Babangida said that? He said that because all you need to do with the plethora of talent within the Nigerian space is to pick the right man or woman for the right sport and let them carry out their job, and you just supervise them. So this was Babangida's template. So that goes to that space then when I said Tinubu is a talent spotter. If he puts the right people, we know he has the capacity to spot somebody with potential and to promote them. If he brings that to the national space, and we've seen the contrary with Buhari, who just clansman all this way through. So if you have somebody like Tinubu, who is a good talent spotter, puts the right people in the right space, the country will propel in no time. So that is really the thing, and you cannot. I don't think even you would not yield to concede that Tinubu is a talent spotter. So that is it. So he puts the right people in the right spaces, and the country propels.
Well, you can describe him as a talent spotter. All I want you to know, he is not the only person that have that capability. There are a lot of people.
Like whom? Who is a talent spotter apart from Tinubu in Nigeria?
Yeah,
is the only talent spotter.
That is the problem we have. Person like him is blocking other people to come into the space by using tokenism to scare them, by using all this dirty way of politicking to scare good people from coming to participate. So thereby dominate that space for no other people to come in. Better people that are better than them, people that can do the job better than them, that can spot the right people, the best people better than them. They deny them from coming to the place due to their dirty.
You can only call them talent spotters by their antecedents. Who else is a talent spotter in Nigeria apart from Tinubu?
Obasanjo is the best.
Yeah, but Obasanjo is the best. I agree.
Obasanjo is the best.
I agree, but Obasanjo has been and gone.
Not.
But Obasanjo has been and gone.
Those people you are talking about, talent spotter. Okay. He had all these places. He controlled the West. As we know, he has all the governors under his control in this West. In the West. Those talent spotters that you are talking about, their state cannot financially sustain themselves without federal allocation, except Lagos. A recent report just came out that we have 3 states that can financially sustain, that can finance their budget by themselves without federal allocation. Lagos, Rivers, and Anambra State. No other state in the whole federation. So those people he spotted, as you are claiming, that he put in position of power, why haven't they developed their own space? Look, let me tell you, one man, Lagos State.
Development is a relative term. Development is a relative term.
Let me tell you, Lagos State, and you have said it several times, that monkey can run Lagos State well. You said it. Because Lagos State, by its location, by being the economic capital of Nigeria, we always, economically viable. We always, you see, Lagos, we always flourish. There's no other way you can describe it. Monkey can run because economically and by the geographical location being the gateway to in and out of the country. That is the power of Lagos State. And that the economy of Lagos State will never suffer. So monkey can run. So when you are talking about sporter, he sport this, he sport Fayemi, what do you call Fashola?
Everybody of relevance in Nigeria today, including the president, he spotted them.
He spotted Fashola, he spotted this thing. They only run Lagos State. Go and put Fashola in Zamfara State, see if you can run it well.
He will.
Go and put all that in the other state and see if they can run it well. What I'm telling you
is running his portfolio excellently.
What Mr. Woman, how can Fashola do it in a Sharia state?
So let's bring Radio Biafra in. Sorry, Ajan Lekoko. Let's just hear from Radio Biafra. Let's hear.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Woman. But I need to change the topic slightly. It's something
don't
that
take it to Biafra, though. We don't want to do Biafra.
No, you see, that's my job. I need to use this opportunity to try and re-educate some points regarding Biafra. I mean, Izon said something earlier. He said that, these Igbo people go to Abuja, they collect money, and these are the same leaders you're going to have when you get Biafra. But I want to ask him, how so is this? How is this going to be the case? Who is the one championing Biafra? These people who he has quoted are for one Nigeria. IPOB is the one fighting for Biafra. In what way are they going to be the ones in control of Biafra when it comes? Can you respond to that, Izon? Hello?
It doesn't especially care to, as you can see.
Okay, no worries. You see, because I think it's wrong, because these people believe in one Nigeria. So when Biafra comes, they will move to Nigeria. That's where all their investments, they built their mansions and their wealth and all this thing. They will not be in Biafra. They don't believe in Biafra. They don't want anything to do with Biafra. They want one Nigeria. So I don't think that what the comment he made earlier is credible. You know, and there was something
nobody believes in Biafra outside of Igbo land.
No, of course they don't believe in Biafra, because they know our own people. We will bring them to account. You know, the governance. They know us. They know themselves. In Nigeria, they could get away with all kind of things. Look at this guy in River State that's been killing people.
When have you ever brought anybody to account in the East?
Sorry?
When have you ever brought anybody to account in the East?
Who are you referring to? You mean the people in the East?
Yes.
We cannot, because we are in the Nigerian state. Nobody's been brought to book. All the killings going up and down. Nobody's been brought to book. So that's the system that we are stuck with at this moment, until we are able to extricate ourselves from Nigeria, where we can put our own system in place. You have Sharia in the north. I mean, somebody said that. What
do you have in the East? If they have Sharia in the North, what do you?
Well, we have Confederation.
Radio Biafra.
Okay. Yes, I want to hear from this guy. Go on.
My brother, how are you? I'm not fighting anyone today. I promise one man more fight on the platform.
You struggle. Everybody comes here for a quarrel. He's ready for a quarrel. So whether you like it or not, you will fight.
I'm not fighting anyone.
Nobody's fighting. You made a point, and it's like when Ajalin Kuko says a point, you come and chip in your own point. I'm chipping my own point in what you said.
Yes. Okay. I just want to ask a question. What makes you think that if you guys secede, all of a sudden all your problems go away?
Nobody's going to work. They don't have problems.
No, I'm asking like I'm talking about the problems in the Southeast primarily.
Do you agree that a lot of the problems
we can't hear you,
my brother? You're breaking up.
This is the thing.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I can hear you now. Yes.
Yeah, I said that when we break away from Nigeria, do you agree that a lot of the problems we are having in Nigeria will be reduced?
I don't think so. I think your power brokers will continue to be there. I think you're going to. I think You asked me a question. Let me answer the question for you, my brother. I think your power brokers are going to be there. I think you're going to have a power struggle between the current power brokers who are there and then the ones who want to rise to the new structure, like the champion of
the
IPOB.
IPOBs.
Yes, they want to rise. So you're going to have a conflict. You're going to have a clash. That clash is going to lead to civil strife, right? And you start to fight amongst yourself, and you become the laughing stock of everyone else in the country. I'll be watching and say, look at them.
They will only turn it they will, from IPOB versus Nigeria to Anambra versus Imo.
Thank you.
And then they will turn it from village to village because this
Thank
is
you.
what they do.
You know why?
Why?
No, we can't hear you, my man.
My brother, you don't get Wi-Fi for Jand.
This is the thing now. You know all these Biafran people.
Yeah?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people have that sentiment that you have, and I tell you why that cannot go through. It's because when these people will commit crime, we will bring them to book, and they'll be held to book. But in Nigeria, when they commit crime, nothing is done to them. They're not arrested, charged, and prosecuted.
But what are you basing that on? What are you basing that on? Bringing people to book?
Look, we are already setting the precedent already in showing that anybody that breaks law, we bring them to account.
What kind of account? What kind of account is that?
Imo monarchs that we saw.
No,
what kind of account? What kind of account do you bring them to? No, what kind of account? What kind of account? Do you take them to court and do they go through a trial? What kind of account do you bring them to?
Yes, we're already showing that President.
Which court?
Is gunmen in the dead of night, isn't he? In the dead of the night.
Listen, Radio Biafra. Listen, Radio Biafra. Let's have this conversation like this. Assume I am someone that's neutral, that you would like to convince to join your IPOB movement, right? I am giving you this as my perspective based on what I've seen. How convince? Because what I've seen as justice from IPOB is violence.
So sorry, we're struggling to hear you, my man.
I know this is true enough.
I know. Are you having your Christmas dinner now?
No. That's too early.
Babysitting.
Are you babysitting? Because we can hear Coco Melon. We can hear Coco Melon in the background.
One man. No, honestly, one day, if you have the time, you want to set up a platform for us to really have a sensible debate about. I would love to come on because I have serious questions to ask them, not insulting them, or I want them to answer some serious questions about.
Yes, we have some questions
to defend the justification to secede. I haven't seen them defend it yet. They haven't defended
the justification to secede.
They don't.
Wait, hold on. Aizon, you're asking me what's the justification to secede from Nigeria?
Hold on, Radio Biafra. I don't even believe that the East wants to secede. I think it's just attention-seeking behavior.
One man and Aizon.
All right, let's hear from Ajanle Koko. I'm going to mute you, Radio Biafra, because of the reverberation that we're getting from you. Yeah. Go on, Ajanle Koko.
Are you saying they don't have right to self-determination?
No,
they don't. They have the right, but they don't.
That's not what I'm saying.
They don't want it.
That was the cracking.
Sorry, I'm saying. No, that's me. My daughter is playing with something. No, but I'm saying they. I'm not saying everyone should have the right to self-determination. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about secession.
Oh,
that they're calling for creating this new nation where we don't know where the borders will start or where it will end because they want to claim other areas. I want. That's why I'm asking him. I want to know because the problem they have can be fixed through self-determination. It doesn't have to be secession, but they are pushing for secession. And my question to him, Ajanle Koko, is that okay? If you get secession tomorrow, Rochas Okorocha will still be there. Hope Uzodinma will still be there. All these other people will still be there. Do you think all of them will be there? Do you think IPOB will be the one controlling that space?
Let me tell you this. The moment Biafran nation come to place, all those one will disappear.
You think so?
Hold on, yes, I know so. Because they don't have, hold on now. They are Nigerian make politicians. They are not their people. They don't enjoy the massive support of their people when it comes to reality. They are Nigerian fraudulent made leaders. The same we have in Yoruba land, your Tinubu and all the rest. Those people are Nigeria made fraudulent leaders. They are not our leaders. The moment Nigeria disappear, they will disappear with Nigeria. New set of leaders will emerge. That is the truth. Because their power, the power they are using to control that space is Nigerian power. They're using the power given to them by Nigerian state to govern us.
I don't agree with what you just said, Ajanle Koko. I don't agree.
Well, I don't know why you cannot see. I don't know why you guys cannot see.
If they get
the same thing, Aizon that is talking from the South. Those leaders in the South will disappear as well. New leadership will emerge because those people have not represented the people of South well.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Ajanle Koko, the problem is
once Nigerians disappear in our life, new set of even in the north.
Yeah, but Ajanle Koko, let me ask you this question: do you think these people, these same people you're talking about, and you know them very well, do you think they will go quietly?
Oh,
they will not go at all.
Let me tell you this.
That's my point. They won't go quietly.
They will not even go at all.
You guys,
and their people will not want them to go.
Okay, but do you think they will go quietly in the Nigerian space already? Is there any time you think they would disappear from the Nigerian space, these bad leaders, if Nigeria remains?
You guys underrate the power of the people. You will be shocked.
No. You guys you are overestimating the expectations and the want of the people.
Look, let me tell you
you're going to have a civil
There's no
conflict.
civil anywhere.
I'm telling you.
Civil. Let me tell you. The way you look at it is as if there's going to be problem, as if there's going to be civil war, we are going to fight among ourselves, is because these people have the backing of Nigerian state, they have the police, they have all the security apparatus.
Ajanle Koko, can I tell you what I think will happen if they get Biafra? If they get Biafra, there'll be a power vacuum. You know, there'll be a
that
power
is not true. That is not true.
Hold on. Let me chat it through and then
So
disagree.
you say you're going to the same going to happen to us, Yoruba nation too. We're going to have a power vacuum.
It's the same template all the way through. But let me chat it through and then you disagree. If they get Biafra, there will be a power vacuum. There will be a power vacuum because, of course, they still needs to have structures. So now there's that power vacuum. So you have the people who are the essentially militants led by Nnamdi Kanu who have forced that space. But then are they sufficient enough for governance is then the next question. But then you already have a body of leaders that are already experienced and known. So it is that power vacuum space then that these tried and trusted people will come into. They will just speak to the language of the times, and the people will say that they're recognized quantities, and they will facilitate for them in this new paradigm. And you have Rochas Okorocha, Opuzodema, Baribe president. It's not going to be the same people will still be the same people, Biafra or Nigeria. They will still be ruled by Opuzodema,
It's not true. It's not
Let me
true.
tell you.
Can I come in, one man? Can I come in? Can I come in?
Please, Zero, let me make this point. One man, what we are going to see is not power vacuum, but power restructure. That is what we are going to see. Power restructuring to work for the people. All these shenanigans by Nigerian state that suppresses us, it will disappear. And you're going to see power restructure. You're going to see a system where people, everybody will be involved, because now we are going to have a situation where new order is coming in and everybody is involved. Everybody wants to make sure that, oh, this is the best way we have to do it. We cannot do it this way. People's participation is what you are going to see, because a new thing, a new order has emerged, and people want to make sure you work for them, work positively for them. People will now get involved to make sure that, yes, this thing must work well for them. And brilliant ideas from all sections of life will come in. Power restructure is what we are going to see, and not power vacuum. So don't let us look. These are the things that politicians play. Hold on, one man. Politicians play all these narratives to scare us.
Do you know who they are clamoring for in Libya today? Do you know who they are clamoring for in Libya today? They are clamoring for Gaddafi's son. Do you know who they are clamoring for in Iraq today? They are clamoring for Saddam's son. The people always revert back to this. Yeah.
Hold on, one man. Those one situation is different from our own situation. Gaddafi
they are not human beings. Yeah.
No, hold on. Let me explain to you. Gaddafi governed that space well. They could be described as dictator, but what Gaddafi brought to that nation in terms of civilization, in terms of social welfare, in terms of development, educational development, infrastructural development, scientific development, everything that Gaddafi brought to that nation, they have never seen it in the history of their country. So when Gaddafi left and they saw these new people, that came, that were Western backed, that took their resources, now they realize that, oh man, Gaddafi have done better for them.
But this is the realization they will have in Igbo land as well.
No, it is not going to be like that. It has never brought anything good. These people you are talking about have never brought anything good to Igbo land.
You know Nnamdi Kanu is a narcissist. You know Nnamdi Kanu is worse than Okorota. He's a narcissist. Let's hear from Ahizon, and then we come to Radio Biafra.
It's me. It's Exero.
Oh yeah, Exero, come in. Yeah.
Yes, I think for one, like I told you, I used to say here, but maybe you misunderstand me a lot. I've never for once disagreed with my Biafran people. I'm a Biafran. And if whatever happens, if we get Biafra tomorrow, I'll be a total Biafran. But you see, the truth for me is that a Biafra like it used to be is no longer possible with the likes of the Ahizons and the Rivers and dichotomizing themselves from Biafra. Biafra will only place us as 5 Igbo states.
No,
because
not true.
I don't know. No, I'm coming. The Biafra we used to know was the East. But the Biafra of today, that when we talk about Biafra, seems to be the loudest in the 5 Igbo states. The Rivers, the what's it called? These other areas that
Delta region.
Delta now. Yeah, the Delta region. They seem to be in so much conflict with the idea. So that is where the delay is going to be. And if foreign intervention was to come in, I'm coming, you speak.
If foreign intervention was to come in, they will see the massive killings, what's it called? The kind of politics that has been practiced that have subjugated the Southeast. You know, they will understand that yes, truly, the Southeast have a horrible story to tell, a horrible experience in the Nigerian entity, and they have rights. They have legitimate reasons to want to pull out. But then, how to draw this map is going to be the delay. And once there's a delay, then it's as good as dead. But if you want to subject it to the 5 Igbo states, it can easily win it because, of course, we can see how it is effective in the 5 Igbo states. What happens in Rivers? The Rivers, when you say sit at home, the Rivers people don't even know what you're talking about. The Delta people are just doing their own thing. And the other areas, you know, but if it was the Yorubas that want to secede, or they have one same language among the 6 Yoruba states,
But
it's easy
different
for them.
religion.
Yeah, but it's easy. But along that language line,
What
it's
do you mean
easy.
different religion? We worship, we are
It's
Ifa
easy.
worshippers
But
now.
what I would suggest, because Nigeria as it is, it favors the Igbo man. The only thing that is wrong is that the powers from the government is used to suppress the Igbo man. That is why the Igbo man reacts the way he does. If an Igbo man succeeds in building an empire in the north, one day some people just come out.
But why can't they
He's
do
too
that in the
successful.
east?
Come out.
They can build an empire in
That's
the
what I'm
east.
saying.
All right.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry. Let me just conclude. Let me conclude.
Just the Igbo man being subjected to some kind of marginalization.
Okay, hold on. Conclude, X0. Have a very short
Yeah.
input,
Yes.
Aizon, and then I'll round off because we've gone past the mark. But just very quickly. Yeah.
So this I just painted is the image as it is right now. It would have been easy for the Biafra to move out. So that being said, I would rather suggest that we go along the lines of what Aizon says. We restructure this country and then make everybody compete. The Igbo man will always succeed.
All right, let's hear from Aizon. Just very briefly, Aizon, yeah.
Yeah, let me start by saying this. I do agree. I think the Igbo man always succeed. Will succeed. There's drive. There's belief. I have carried a lot of Igbo friends. Some of my mentors and tutors growing up were from Southeast. So I do agree on that. So I think that is the fight to control your own space is the fight that Igbo people should join to push. The secessionary fight will just create local champions in Southeast. That's my opinion. And I think to Ajana Kuko's point when he was saying that the new people will rise up and honestly, I pray that kind of thing happens. But if it's not happening now, if they're not rising up now, what makes you think they'll rise up then? When the resources will always still take control. The people that have the power and the money and the influence are going to be the same people with power, money, and influence when you create a smaller space. And those people who exert their influence and bribe who they need to bribe to control the space to make sure that they come out on top. The minute they start to see that this little space is going to be created, and IPOB will resort to violence again, and you will have a situation. You will have a big situation. That is my prediction, and that is why even let me tell you something. Let me be really careful. Let me tell you something. Where I'm from, I can confidently say we have more of a reason to succeed than anyone else. There are places where I'm from where the soil can't even produce crops anymore.
All right.
Because Nigeria wants to drink oil. You understand what I'm saying? So I am talking from a place of I understand 100% the need to control your space, but not secession.
One man, let me make this statement before you go. Let me make this statement.
All right. Yes, very briefly, and then very briefly from Radio Biafra, but very, very briefly, please. Yeah.
In response to Aizon, you said Igbo to be rising now. I think Igbo people already risen up by setting up IPOB. IPOB is a global organization. You can see the pressure they put it on Nigerian state. The influence on the majority of the youth. Youth are the future of every nation. I can tell you categorically that 90% if not 95% of the youth of Igbo state believe in IPOB's cause. That is the future of their nation. So they are rising up and they can do it. Nigeria, the same with Yoruba people. We can do it. This nation is not a nation of future. It's not a futuristic nation for anybody, even for your own people there, your youth over there in the South. It's not a futuristic nation for them. Even in the Hausa land, it's not a futuristic nation for them. Look, we have to do it. We have to do it. We are taking a good step, Yoruba nation, Biafra nation. Before you know it, you will see some organization from the north will start rising up as well. It's a matter of time. It's going to happen. The nation will break.
All right. Thank you, Ajale Koko. So very, very, very briefly from Radio Biafra, because I fast exceeded my time, but long into it. Radio Biafra, your words.
The map that you see of Biafra may not be that map itself, I think, but I guarantee, I'm 100% sure that some parts they call this Niger Delta would come with Biafra. May not include the Ijaw people because I find them aggressive and they land grabbers. But no, it's true. You see the problem they're causing in Delta with the Issacharis and
one man, just thank your stars. You're running out of time.
Yes, okay. Look at that. He just dropped that one in because he knew I was right. But don't worry, we'll save that one for later.
Okay, can I just say something, Mr. Woman, please? Yeah, I think that you should have one time program about the Biafra and the Nigerian question.
People are criticizing me for spending too much time on in the Eastern space.
It's part and parcel of what's happening in Nigeria. There are people that are demanding a different alternative. You have to.
All right. It looks as though the gremlins have gotten Radio Biafra. So that was just on time. So thank you, Radio Biafra. I think we get the views.
Nobody should be kicked out. Allow people to talk, and that way you may be able to find a solution to the problem of Nigeria. And
one man, I suggest the session so we can really sit down and let me help educate this session.
All right, but it'll be rowdy. But you have to moderate that. You will have to moderate that. But thank you, Radio Biafra. I'm going to round it off there. But let me just acknowledge the super chats that have come in, just by way of rounding off. So the Alexander Gomez has ever to you, Ahizon. He says, you are always brilliant in your analysis. So Ahizon, you are always brilliant in your analysis. A compliment from Alexander Gomez to Ahizon. To Ajale Koko, he says, Ajale Koko already home. So Orokwe Sijeo already home. So there you are. That's to Ajale Koko. So this is oh, hold on. There was one that I just had lined up now. This is from James Coker. It's just a super sticker. He doesn't actually make a comment. Just posted a super sticker. So let me just see if I can find that. So this is from pardon me. This is from James Coker. So he just super stickers just to super sticker. So thank you for the super sticker, James Coker. And the final word to Alexander Gomez, and this is what he says. A fantastic conversation today, one man, incisive, educative, and full of divergent views. So thank you for the compliment, Alexander Gomez, as ever, a supporter of the platform. So that's the way it has gone in this session, which I wasn't even intended to do, but I just thought, let me just do it. But that is just how it goes. This is the beauty of the thing. You know, you never know what you get. You just dip your hand in and see what you pull out. So this is what we pulled out today, but we're pulling even more out of the rabbit, out of the magician's heart later on in the evening. So we leave it here for now. Carry conversation in the comment section over here. Say peace.